Number one thing that I see go wrong. Do not introduce yourself in the demo video. Hi, so I'm Abby, this is Teaching Together, and here are 5 things you are doing wrong on your Outschool application. So I really hope these things help you because I've actually been helping my husband get approved on Outschool this week. So I'm very much in the middle of this right now, and I've also been helping out a couple of other teachers just kind of like get their applications approved and everything. So I know the things that can go wrong on these applications, and I want to help you out so that you can just very confidently get that application sent in and with no stress. Check your email every 5 minutes waiting for it to be approved. No, don't check it every 5 minutes. But I do want to make you feel better about your application. Before we get started, just so you know, I teach on Outschool. I teach art classes. I've got this awesome brand called Art Ventures Animals. I absolutely love it. And I also coach people like you on how to be successful on Outschool. So I can be your referral coach. I can audit your classes. There's a lot of different things I offer. So stick around to the end or go down to the description to see if I can help you out at all. Well, let's get started. Number 1, let's just get right into it. You sound like everyone else in your niche. Niche. I just say niche. I don't know. Well, we don't want to sound like everyone else because guess what? There are a lot of Outschool teachers now. A few years ago, before the pandemic and everything, Outschool was kind of new. And so if you found something, a subject that you were good at, you didn't really have to worry about being unique because there weren't that many people on the platform. Not anymore. There are a lot of Outschool teachers. And although there are people who get, the application gets denied, which is why we're doing this video for you, there are a lot of people getting onboarded because Outschool is really trying to reach out and get new students, so they need teachers to match, and so it's just kind of a constant give and take. Right now we're in the more teachers resurgence. That doesn't mean that it's oversaturated, that just means it's a little bit uneven. It just means that you got to stand out. So make sure on your application that you are standing out. So I actually helped someone the other day that wanted to do something really, really general, just like first grade classes. Okay, but there are a lot of first grade classes, so what makes you unique? You can still teach first grade, but do you have more of a science bend to it? Are you gonna get the kids outside into nature? Are you gonna move a lot and dance in this first grade class? Like, just think of something that makes you special, because there is something, you are special. So just think of how you can translate your passions into something that's going to be helpful for parents. And that's what they're looking for on the application. They want something that's unique and special to you. Number 2 goes right along with it. Your class topics are too broad. Again, let's go back to the first grade example. If you say, I really want to teach first grade and I really want to teach reading and math and science, and I think I want to do art and this dance class, and I have this handmade basket class. That's a bit too broad. Like that's not clear on your application. Outschool wants to know what holes you fill in this grand web of all of these parent requests. So you can actually go onto the recent parent request on Outschool's application. You can just click on it and just see, hey, what am I going to help with? Now, your expertise may not be on there, so don't get discouraged, but it may give you kind of like a jumping off point. You can also just go onto the Outschool website as a parent and just kind of look through and see what's being booked. What are things that are needed? Also, if you end up joining me and get me to be your coach or your referral, I can get you a list of those classes that are needed and I can help you out with that a little bit. So I want you to be doing that. Narrow it down. Let me give you an example. I teach art classes that focus on teaching a new animal each week. We use simple instructions, simple materials, and we travel around the world while we do it. That's like very specific, very, very specific niche. And it's great. Parents know exactly what they're getting. They know that if they enroll in another class, what style of class it is, and it works really, really well. Get specific. Number 3, and I kind of alluded to this before, don't just put your qualifications on the application, actually put what you're passionate about. So I mentioned this before, I was helping my husband with his application. He is a math genius, he's amazing. He has a master's degree, he's got obviously a bachelor's degree, he's got all of these things under his belt. He's actually written a pre-calculus curriculum. It took him 3 years, but he did it. So he could put that as the forefront of why he wants to teach math. But don't just put that, and don't put that first. We actually put on his instead, math shouldn't have to be hard. That was his main thing. That was his main eye-catching thing for Outschool. We want them to know, hey, math is not hard for him, and so he knows how to help students make it easy, even if it's advanced algebra or pre-calculus. That's what I want you to do. Think of what you are passionate about teaching. I picked art because I love art, but the reason I love art is it helps us right-brained people understand the world better. So that's why I teach science and zoology and habitat type things in my art classes. We also do creative writing because it unlocks that side of your brain and helps you view the world more creatively. That's what I put on my application when I got accepted. Think of your passion statement first, and that's how you're going to build your entire brand. I've actually got a worksheet in my Teaching Together workbook that helps you go through your niche statement, your personal brand statement, because that's what you're offering to people and you need to be clear on it. So be clear with it even on your application, and then that'll just carry on into the rest of your brand and your business. All right, number 4, guys, this is the number one thing that I see go wrong. Do not introduce yourself in the demo video. Don't do it. It actually says it in the instructions not to do that. You don't have to say, hey, I'm Abby. I have this qualification. I really enjoy art because of this. They already are reading that in your application if you did it right. So do not do that. They will automatically fail your application if you do that. They'll reject it. So what I want you to do instead is just pretend like you are teaching. Just pretend like you got on Zoom and you just let the students into your class, because that's what you're going to be doing, and just start like that. Hey, how are you guys doing today? I'm so excited. Go ahead and get your supplies out. Let's get going. We're going to be drawing a tiger today. Anyway, so that is what I want you to do. Just go right into the lesson, be super natural and warm. And guys, talking to a camera is really easy because you can just edit it. It's really nice. You're not talking to a real person. So I know it can be nerve-wracking and sometimes harder, but if you think about it logically, like, it's actually easier to talk to a camera that you can edit and change things instead of like actual students. Not to freak you out about teaching actual students. I'm sure you'll do great. All right, so 5th thing, make sure that your class description on that application is not just like, I'm gonna throw some words on there. I don't really know what I want to do. Think through that class description, because that's a huge thing they look at. They might be like, oh, okay, yeah, you're passionate about this, you have these qualifications, but can you teach? And are you going to do it in a professional way? Check your grammar. It needs to be perfect. If they see, I've heard in some of these Facebook groups that they had punctuation off and their application got rejected because of that. It makes sense though. They want you to be professional, and especially since you don't have to have a degree, they have to vet you in some way, you know? Like, they have to make sure that you know what you're doing. So make sure your grammar is impeccable. Make sure you add as much detail to that class description as you can. If you can add dates in there, and I know it's kind of hard to add dates because you don't know when you're going to get approved, but just like throw some dates up there, even if it's not what you actually do. Putting as much detail as possible is gold. They will love it. And they want to make sure that you know how to run a class well. So you can add dates. I think on August 25th, we're going to learn this in this class. And then underneath that, put a general lesson plan. So say, this class is going to go for 50 minutes. So we're going to do an introduction here. We're going to start on drawing on this one, and then we're going to color it in, and then we're going to do a creative writing bit, and then we're going to end. Like, just make sure you have as much detail as possible. Fill it up. They will not care, and actually it will be a lot better for you. All right, so recap. Number 1, you sound like everyone else in your niche, and that's a problem. Make sure you stand out. Number 2, your class topics are too broad, so change it, make it simpler. You only listed your qualifications instead of your passions. Make sure that they know why you want to teach. Number 4, you introduce yourself at the beginning of the demo video. Do not introduce yourself, that's what the application's for. Number 5, you wrote a too simple class description. Beef it up, add as much detail as possible. All right, thank you guys for being here for this video. I really hope this gives you confidence and makes you feel better. If you still are kind of unsure how to write that application and you don't have a referral yet, please use my referral code and then go to Instagram and message me. Because guys, I don't want you to just put my code on your application. I want to be your coach. So be like, hey, I put your code on my application. I need some advice. So go ahead and message me. I always message you back personally. I usually give you voice memos too on Instagram, and it's really fun. It's like one of my favorite parts of my job. So please, please, please message me. And then if you're not really sure if you want to sign up for Outschool, go ahead and DM me. I don't think it's a waste of time even if you decide not to go with Outschool, because I just like talking to people. So I hope that these 5 things helped you, made you feel more confident, and I'll see you next time. Bye.